leaders are no longer fit to represent the people of the free world. We, the people, are now exercising our rights by way of the first two amendments in order to stand united for the Second American Revolution. Yeah, let the proof be submitted. The enforcement of communist, socialist, and fascist ideals in a nation constructed in the foundation of a sovereign democratic republic, by way of instituting legislation that infringes upon people's freedoms in order to promote a system of controls that is said to promote general welfare. The unconstitutional granting of privileges in place of constitutionally guaranteed rights, by way of implementing licenses to provide permission for use of public property and granting authority to individuals already of a sovereign status. The compromise of constitutional integrity, by way of ratifying legislation infringing upon basic constitutional guarantees. The conclusive evidence of deceit and corruption on all levels of governmental leadership, by way of promoting personal agendas instead of justice, tranquility, defense, welfare, and liberty of the common interest as stated in the Constitution. The inconsistent approach to implement the constitutional ideals abroad, by way of engaging in immoral actions without being open to more effective and more efficient approach to provide freedom and peace for all. We as a sovereign people recognize that our power revolves around our ability in exercising our rights. And in exercising our rights is where we gain our power. And that if we do not demonstrate such rights, we give up our power. We as a people are now exercising our rights as conscious beings who are free to choose a government who is the example of freedom and peace for which we are now providing. We recognize that our power is in the unity and balance within ourselves and our fellow Americans. Moving forward, we must therefore acquiesce in the necessity, responsibility, and duty to provide for a more perfect union and the effective manifestation of freedom and peace. We now and forever choose to operate as a nation of higher morality and honest principles. Truth will be of the most importance, for in truth we find ourselves to be free. Freedom cannot be found in a system of controls, and a system of controls cannot bring about the peace that freedom reveals. Whereas we seek to restore the foundation of truth on which our Constitution is housed, then we will find ourselves in a world of freedom and peace. As we move forward in the creation of a more perfect American Union, truth shall be held most high among our ideals. Embracing and elevating the truth on which our Constitution was founded shall prevent truth and justice, truth and tranquility, truth and defense, truth and welfare, and truth and liberty. This dedication to truth shall commit us to the actions necessary to evolve with the clarity, integrity, and honor from which we as a nation shall bring about freedom and peace with the rest of the world. Thank you. Again, this is a statement of purpose. We occupy 38 states. We have our governors, our elected leaders represent us with this statement of purpose. We can call for a constitutional conference. With 38 states, we can ratify any legislation, even an immediate return to the American Constitution. 38 states, occupado, American Revolution. See you guys at the end.
How do you like that? Do you love that? I mean, do you? Do you love it? I love it too. Coming up next, we have a speaker. Some spoken word. Gentlemen. A gentleman by the name of Patrick Moore.
All I really know is that they don't really care about us. What do we know about the 1%? All I really know is that they don't really care about us. And I've proven that over and over and over. And that is why we're here today. What I have found in the week that's unfolded around us is that the media is going through incredibly great things to distort and confuse the population about what's happening here in 800 cities around the world today. They keep saying we don't have demands. They keep saying we're confused. They keep saying we don't know what we want. That is simply not true. Although it is a little hard to find out. A Google search of specific demands for Occupy Wall Street, our website comes up not in the first 50. It comes in lower than that. So people seeking what it is we want are having a very hard time finding it. As a group, as a collective, as 99%, of course, we want 1,000 different things. There are 1,000 solutions to 1,000 problems that we're all working on. But before we leave this lawn, there's 7 things things that we're asking for. We have 7 simple demands, and I would like to read them to you. I'm so sorry we have to get a little academic here after such high vibe entertainment, but that's part of the process. We're entertainers, we're activists, but we're well-educated activists. We are rebels who know what's up.
30 seconds.
Just a couple minutes here, and I will cover the 7 demands. Number 1, investigate and arrest and try Wall Street criminals. There we are. Clearly broke the law how we caused the 2008 financial crisis. There's a pretty broad consensus that there's a clear group of people who got away with billions of dollars illegally and have not been brought to justice. If you have an opportunity, check Inside Job by Matt Damon, who's the narrator there. It's a fantastic investigation, detailed investigation of the crimes committed. Number 2, Congress enact legislation to protect our democracy by reversing the effects of the Citizens United Supreme Court decision. Is this not the craziest thing we have ever heard? Corporations are not people. And when the Supreme Court justices try to explain to us that they don't think it's going to hurt democracy if corporations can invest unlimited amounts of money into political campaigns and then not have to explain to anybody where that money went or how much they gave? I don't think there's a name for how strange that is except maybe mega hypocrisy. It is that strange. Please read the Supreme Court justice on that case and you'll feel your jaw drop. Number 3, we have to reenact Glass-Steagall. I know it sounds kind of out there, but Roosevelt saved our nation from 50 years of this by saying an investment bank has to be separate from a bank. You take your money to an investment bank, they're Wall Street. You take your money to a bank, they're going to hold it for you. You let them confuse that. We had the last Great Depression. We stopped that. We relinked that recently. And now we have investment bankers who can take our pensions, take our savings, can take everything. And they did. Took it to Wall Street, gave it to their buddies, and it's gone. A simple piece of legislation would stop that. And that's all we're asking for is for people, for the laws we have, for simple common sense legislation to enact in America. Number 4, real quick. Congress to pass an abundant rule on fair taxation so the rich and corporations pay their fair share, close corporate loopholes, including the prohibition of offshore funds. They say 30% of Americans' wealth is being held offshore so they don't have to pay their fair share keeping our roads going and keeping our schools going. We can stop that. Number 5. Congress completely revamped the Securities and Exchange Commission, staffed it at the highest and lowest levels with professionals who get the job done, protecting the integrity of the market, and thereby protecting the American people and investors. We have regulation agencies to look into what happened. We just never gave them any money, we never gave them any power, we never allowed them to do their job. Much like the 9/11 investigation, by the way. Number 6, reestablish the public airwaves in the U.S. to protect candidates, give them equal time, free reasonable interviews and daily programming during campaign season. That's the key as well. The reason America doesn't know about this is because the corporate media is lying and trying to distort what we're doing here. If the media was shared equally amongst all the people, we'd be able to reach out in a much more profound way. Number 7, Congress enacts specific laws that effectively build a wall between the defense industry and the U.S. military. If we're going after corruption, trying to reduce all the unnecessary wars that are costing in so many ways, especially the lives of people here and there, and this is the granddaddy of all reforms. As Eisenhower tried to remind us and warn us at the end of this term, the military-industrial complex is the greatest threat to security and stability in the world. I can quote Eisenhower for 30 seconds. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for disastrous rise of risk-based powers exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic process. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial complex and machinery for defense with peaceful methods and goals, so the security and liberty may prosper together. That is a moment in history we have stopped, listened to, and have avoided most of the disasters of the last 50 years. Give thanks. I'm honored to be here. I've been here since Saturday morning. I'll be here until this is over. I'll be here until there's justice in the streets of America. Give thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, children and grandparents, I'll introduce myself briefly. Scotty, alright? Much love. Coming up next, we got Power of Green. Crenshaw, Green Up Team, right up here.
What's happening? Alright? We've been lied to. Alright? Bad legislation has been written to defeat all democracy or freedom in this country. Alright? We have a problem. Alright? It's corporate separated from our state. Alright? But I'll tell you something right now, you could be free now for $400 each, or anything like $400 each, and every one of the people in this audience and across the United States could have 2,000 watts of energy all their own. If you had 2,000 watts of energy each and every individual man, woman, and child, there would be no more grid. There would be no more poverty. All you need is 2,000 watts. Get to it. You can do it yourself, powered by the people, for the people. Alright? Okay, we're mad at the government. But you know, I'm mad at myself too. Because even though I'm off the grid, still 15% of my income is still on the grid. So for that percentage, I am still to blame for this mess. I am a grandmother. I have participated in the United States and the rest of the world in industry for 30 years. I'm going to give it back. Let's all do this right and go free. My cousin here, Seven, he's the director, the co-director of Power of Green. We got another cat here who's filming us. Adam, who just graduated Morehouse College, mastering in renewable energy. Right on. Crenshaw, the Mert Park Village is going to be the greenest part of LA by December. We're going to be 32% running off the grid by December. Come visit us. We're having a party. When we're done here, let's keep letting them know what we're about. Here's Seven.
Occupation LA, how are we doing today? I see all those wonderful faces out there. I know you all wondering what we have here. This right here, this letter right here, is what I call the answer to a lot of our problems. This situation that we got going on right here, we can fix in a matter of, say like an hour or two. We build things that can set people free from what we have going on today. And what I see is we have going on today is a corporate takeover. A straight manipulation of the mindset and stealing of people's pockets, their accounts, everything that we have here. My question to you is, what are you willing to do for it? We're offering one of the solutions. We're offering